Troy Smutkin from Great Day in the Water Guide Service. Welcome to this episode of Fishing and Hunting North Country. It's late June. We are out on a West Metro area lake around the Twin Cities. We got water temp in the low 70s. Water temp's a little behind for late June. We're a couple weeks behind because of our cold spring. We today are focusing on spinnerbaits. Right now we're starting out casting bass-sized spinnerbaits, terminators. This is a half-ounce Terminator stainless white. We're also going to have a white and chartreuse going. We're also going to have a clown color going. So we'll vary colors. A lot of times really all you need is something with some white and something with some chartreuse. We're targeting largemouth bass, but we'll catch pike on these. Could get a muskie to follow or come after one of these. We also, if we see some muskies, or in a couple of our spots where we know muskies get active this time of year, we've got some bigger bass sized, or bigger muskie. They're big bass, pike, small muskie lures that we like to use on these lakes. We'll show those if we use those. And then we'll finish up a little later. You can see it's crystal clear here and not much wind, so the predator bite's going to be short. Then we'll finish up with some panfish, and we'll talk about using little panfish size spinnerbaits so we can fish all day long, multiple species, different sizes and styles of spinnerbaits. So stay tuned for hopefully spinnerbait mania. And my dad Nate's got one on here. This one on the chartreuse and white spinnerbait. Nice post-spawn male. For the camera there. Yeah. Nice starter fish there, that boy. And my dad Nate's got another one here on the chartreuse and white. Another male. Hold him up here for the camera. Yeah. Nice fish. We'll get back to it here. And my son Parker's got a pike here. My dad's gonna net it. There we go. Yeah. Alright, nice pike there. Put him back in the water and let him live to fight another day. There he goes. Pike, something, a bonus. We're obviously targeting bass, but catching nice. That was a nice 3-4 pound pike there. Good job, buddy. Catching pike is a nice bonus. Hey, got one on the white spinnerbait here. Another male. Oh, quick release. 15 incher, 16 incher. But they are chewing up that spinnerbait. Okay, we got a double here. My son's got a pike up in the front of the boat. Good job. And my dad's got one too. A little smaller one. Can you get that one, Dad? All right, this one we're gonna net, I think. Well, actually, I think I can just get him off. Okay, a little pandemonium, but we got both those pike off and back. Not real big ones, but again, everything up here slamming the spinnerbaits. Oh, something just swirled right there. I'll bet you that was a bass. we definitely got fish around here. We caught a crappie earlier too on the big Terminator spinnerbait, so, and had sunfish follow, so we got the whole deal going on up here. All right, my son Parker here had a crappie come right up by the boat, follow that spinnerbait up and smack it right next to the boat. Not a bad crappie either, 9-incher. Oh boy. Just keep adding to the species here. We haven't caught a sunfish yet, but we've had sunfish following and hitting. Now we've got crappie, pike, and largemouth so far on the bass spinnerbaits. That's on a Terminator, super stainless, and that's the clown color. Good job, pal. All right, we hit a double for a minute. My dad just had a bass throw his, and my son's got something big on. It's gonna be a pike or a muskie. We saw a muskie up here, so we went to a little bit bigger spinner. Oh, it just came off, or did it bite it off? Okay. Well, that was a double that wasn't. We saw my dad's was a bass, and my son's, the way it was ripping line, it was a big pike or that muskie that we saw. And show my son's using, he's got some weeds on it, but he's using just a, what I would call an oversized bass spinnerbait or a pike-sized spinnerbait. A lot of muskie guys would say that's too small, but on these metro area lakes where they get pressured a lot of times these smaller baits. We saw the muskie follow my bass spinnerbait, and now he either had the muskie on or a good-sized pike. It was rip and drag and cutting line pretty good. And Dad, how big was your bass?
Oh, I'd say 17, maybe 18.
Okay, nice bass too. All right, we'll get back at it. Hey, got another pike. Slam the Terminator half-ounce white here. Get him without getting him all tangled up in a net. There we go. Not hooked too bad. Yeah. Okay, pike. They're hitting like they are. Get a picture of him, we'll let him go. And my son Parker here with that same bait that had the muskie on. Got a nice bass. Drilled it here. Hold him in there. He's a squabbler. Alright, we'll get a picture of that fish, and then I'll get a video of you letting it go, and we'll take a look at that bait. Okay, nice bass there. We'll let that fish go. And we'll take a look at that bait. Okay, and it's just a safety pin style bucktail with a trailer hook added on. Tandem blades, a gold willow leaf, and a silver Colorado. It's a fire tiger perch pattern. And again, a little bigger than a typical bass bait, probably more of a pike size bait. But on these metro area lakes, if the muskies get so pressured, the muskies a lot of times will go after these smaller baits. I catch them on the bass size spinnerbaits a lot too. And this bait is still small enough you can catch big bass on it, you can catch pike on it. We've even had walleyes hit those things. Nice job, bud. Hey, well, as you can see, it's getting bright and sunny. We're getting into late morning here. The bass and the pike are slowing, and the muskies. So we're going to switch over to panfish. We're still going to use a spinnerbait. And we're going to use, this is just a 16th ounce VMC Moon Eye jig. Got a Lindy jig spinner on it, and a little 2-inch. This is a Berkeley Ripple Shad, power bait Ripple Shad. You could do a power bait minnow. Those are probably my two favorite things. Usually something minnow colored. This is smelt, emerald shiner, works, white. And we just pitch that out and slow roll that back in, and are expecting to catch crappies and sunfish. And now as the bass are getting less aggressive, you would downsize if you wanted to slow down, if you wanted to keep fishing for bass anyway. So probably catch a couple bass on this. Quickly, the rod reel line we're using. This is a St. Croix Handfish series rod. It's a 7-foot ultralight, and I've got a Fluger Tryon ultralight spinning reel on there. I've got 4-pound test Berkeley Fire line, And then I've got a little barrel swivel, and I've got a short little leader of either 6 or 8. You can use this is either 6 or 8 pound test Spanish fluorocarbon, a fluorocarbon leader that's then onto a tiny little quick snap that goes into that eye on the jig spinner. And that little bit of fluorocarbon, it's a little more abrasion resistant, it's a little stiffer, so you're less likely to have casts with the spinner flopping around or having on the cast having tangles. That fluorocarbon resists that a little more, and then the snap we can quickly change baits if we need to. So we're going to get going here and see if we can catch some panfish, and hopefully we'll have a bunch of crappies and sunnies and maybe even some more bass for you on these little panfish sized spinnerbaits. And now my son's got a crappie. We'll get him off, put him in the live well. He's going to be lunch. And my dad Nate's got a nice bluegill. Drilled little jig spinner. Ripple shad.
Looks like crappie on this one. A little dry, but it's still a crappie. I think I've got a pretty good crappie on here, right? Oh yeah, he's a pretty good one.
Oh yeah, he hit that beetle spin.
Yeah, he hit it pretty hard too.
Yeah, that'll be one for lunch.
Yeah, got a nice one here.
Yeah.
You want to keep this one? Or should we put
Yeah,
it?
we'll put him in the live well.
Okay. Hey, bud. I hope they catch everything.
Oh, let's rip and drag.
Keep it up out of the waves, yeah. Keep reeling. Yeah, keep it up.
It's bass.
Yeah. We'll put the net under him just so he doesn't break off that light line. There you go.
Yeah, this bass hit it pretty hard, and now that the sun's up, the big spinner baits aren't really working too good, so they're going after smaller ones like this little beetle spin that we've been using for panfish. And he hit that pretty hard. Nice bass.
Got another crappie here on the little jig spinner. Frisky one.
Timber.
Yeah, we'll leave him. And we got another crappie on the next cast. Another nice 9.5 incher on that jig spinner. Ooh, we smoked that one. Ate that bait halfway down on that little, that's a little VMC Moon Eye jig, 16th ounce with a little Indy jig spinner, and then that Berkeley Power Bait Ripple Shad, a little paddle tail, 2-incher. 5 of them in there, about halfway to a meal. Alright, we got a double. Parker's got a small crappie. And my dad here's got a little nicer one, so I'll hoist him aboard. Yeah, they're pretty close. Grandpa's is a little bit bigger there, bud. Yeah, nice double there. Both on those little jig spinners. Take a look at them. Yeah, we'll put yours in the live well there, Dad. Well, yeah, we've tough conditions for bass and pike and muskies anymore, but we've got super calm, sunny. We got insect, gnats, activity all over. Minnows all around, and that's got the minnows are up after the bugs. So are the little sunnies, the big sunnies and crappies are after the minnows. So got it all going on. You got that one bass. You know, they'll hit the smaller baits now. They're just not going to chase any big baits this time of the day. Yeah, they always. you downsize if you were going to keep going for bass, so
Yep.
and slow down, and so they're taking the panfish stuff.
All right, we got another crappie here.
Just hammering, we're sitting on a spool of them and just hammering this little jig spinner. 16th ounce, little paddle tail on there, little ripple shad. Another one for dinner. We got a double here on crappies. My son's got one. My dad's can go in the live well. Another nice double there on the little jig spinners. Alright, nice double there, fellas. One for the box, one. Hey, got another quick release into the boat here. There we go. That'll be our last one going in the live well. Okay, my son's got a nice size pumpkin seed there. Bright orange belly, yeah. All the turquoise on there. Nice fish. Beautiful fish there, bud. Yeah, let him go to fight another day. All right, so equipment wrap up for the day here. We're gonna call her a day. We started out this morning pitching classic bass spinnerbaits. This is a Terminator. This is a super stainless 1/2 ounce tandem blades. This is called a bright white shad. Oh, we got a plane taking off of the water right there, landing on the water behind us there. Bright white shad, so it's got tandem blades, a silver willow leaf and a silver Colorado, 1/2 ounce. That color was working well today, and then so was this. This is a chartreuse and white shad, and this has tandem blades also. It's got a gold willow leaf and a silver Colorado. And we were casting those on spinning and casting rods using 7-foot, a medium heavy power with a moderate fast action, a little more give. Whenever I'm using spinnerbaits, I use a rod with a little more give. That moderate fast rod bends a little farther up the rod, so as you're slow rolling that spinnerbait along and that fish hits it, that rod will bend a little more before it loads up, giving them time to, they come up and open up their mouth and flare their gills and inhale that bait, and that rod will give a little more so they can get that in their mouth. You'll get more hookups than you will with a real stiff rod tip. And then we were using 14-pound Berkeley Fireline on either Fluger spinning reels on St. Croix spinning rods, or Abu Garcia bait cast reels on Fluger bait cast rod, or St. Croix bait cast rods. We also tried a little bit. We saw a couple muskies moving around, so we went to just a little bit bigger bait. This is just a oversized bass bucktail spinnerbait, tandem with a gold willow and a silver Colorado. Other guys call this a pike bait, but on these West Metro area lakes, these fish get pressured, muskies get pressured. And Parker had one hooked up on this very one. He had it on for about a minute. It got down to the weeds and came loose. Looked like probably around a 40-incher. We had follows on these by a upper 30s and a low 40s. So 3 muskies today. Then it got hot, and well, not hot, but warm, but sunny and calm. And the big fish bite, we caught quite a few pike too, but the pike bass and muskies dried up. So then we switched to panfish and went to this little jig spinner that we talked about, a little BMC Moon Eye 16th ounce jig, a little 2-inch Berkeley Powerbait ripple shad, and a little Lindy jig spinner on there. And we use that on ultralight tackle with 4-pound test line. For any of this, go to Rapala.com and hit the Terminator button to check out these Terminator spinnerbaits. Rapala.com, hit the VMC button for these Moon Eye jigs. Go to Pure Fishing and hit the Berkeley button for the ripple shads. And you can buy stuff there or read about them there and get them at your local tackle stores. So we were just slow rolling all these spinnerbaits right over the tops of cabbage weeds in about 6 to 10 feet on shoreline flats and on close to shore reefs or shoreline points that have cabbage weed. Then with a good inside weed edge with harder bottom, that's where the bass were bedding a while back. That's where the sunnies are finishing bedding. So you get small sunfish all over, as well as big ones now into the weeds. The bass are there feeding on them, the pike are there feeding on them, the muskies are feeding on them. The crappies are there feeding on minnows, and some of the bigger pike and muskies are probably feeding on them too. So you got the whole food chain going on these shallow weed flats right now. And we'll have this for a couple more weeks yet. We're a couple weeks behind on water temp, but typically June in the upper Midwest here is the month to hit those, find that cabbage on the, not too far from shore from the hard bottom, and you can find everything going on there. We caught on the big baits, we caught bass, pike, muskie, crappies, even one sunfish. On this we had a muskie, and then on these we caught crappie, sunfish, and a bass, and Parker got bit off by a pike, likely too, that inhaled it and bit it right off. So a little bit of everything, but fishing spinnerbaits all day, starting about 6 o'clock this morning, going until about noon now. And it looks like we'll finish up. My dad's got something on there on the last cast.
It's a little sunny.
A little sunny.
Yep.
We'll finish on a little one, but caught lots of nice fish today. So, thanks for watching this episode of Fishing and Hunting the North Country. For Nate Smutka taking his little sunny off there, Parker Smutka behind the camera, I'm Troy Smutka. Good luck, and I'll see you out there somewhere.